Hello everybody, so this is a tutorial for making bump maps in 3D Studio Max. It's quite basic, but thought I'd give it a try. I'm a little bit sick right now, so you have to bear with my voice if it cracks. Um, the scene is set up like this. I have a camera and some backdrop, some lights, and when I render it, looks like this. It's a very low res render with low low samples, but for the sake of this tutorial it will work fine. And we have some I don't know, maybe oil here, which these objects are lying around in, and we want to make some ripples from these objects on top of this surface. So the first thing I do is to locate where the objects are in reference to the plane. And one way to do it when it's easy as this is I go into my top view and I'm just gonna hide my backdrop and I put on shaded here and I zoom in just so I can see this plane, the whole plane. Then I usually just take a screenshot and I just keep it just barely around the borders so I know that I'm getting the whole thing. And I'm just gonna save this as a reference, something like that. And then I go into my Photoshop and I load this one in, and now I crop the image to fit the plane like that. And what I want to do now is to locate where the objects are into the surface. And as you can see here, the sphere is pretty simple. It's pretty easy to find because it's like a perfect circle, so, or a perfect sphere, excuse me. But the cube here, it's only like this part that's beneath the surface. Maybe I'll make another tutorial just to show you how you can locate or find out how it's like subsurfaced, but for this tutorial I'm just gonna approximate the edges, like from the top view. You will understand what I mean later on. So the bump map works like uh, there's a parameter in Max in materials which allows you to maybe make the illusion of something that is displaced. So you don't physically push the vertices up or down, but the program will analyze and calculate as if it actually were some sort of displacement. So it's pretty fast, and it's good for the surfaces that you're like almost looking straight on. If you would go like this, you wouldn't see like the bumps in the horizon. But with no further ado, I will just do this. I'll make a new layer, and I'm gonna start with this this shape here. So the ripples from this would be like perfect circles. So it's pretty easy one. So I'm just gonna find, here it is. I'm just gonna make a shape, and and I'm gonna put the fill color to none, and the line color to white, and 3 points. Yeah, that's okay. And now I'm just gonna set this up so it wait, actually, so it fits this one here, like so. I'm gonna copy it with Control J. Just gonna keep on copying it, make these ripples go out like this. Like so. And I'm gonna rasterize. I have it in Swedish, so you have to bear with me, but it says rasterize layer, and you're gonna make it rasterize, and then I'm gonna just merge all layers together so you get one layer, and then I'm gonna put them on a mask and gradient, like so it decays outwards. As I said, the highest point in the bump map is the white one, so the program will reinterpret white as the highest point and black as the lowest point. So this kind of map is actually not accurate, because in the valleys here of the ripple, it would actually go beneath the surface. So to make this 100% accurate, you need to have like a perfect gray background and make black, white, black, white, black, white, and put it on 50% opacity. But for the sake of this tutorial and for the sake of just making bump maps, I don't, it's like a lot of more work, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. But one thing I need to do is to smooth these edges out, because ripples aren't that sharp. So I'm going to take my blur tool, increase my strength to 100, and I'm just going to blur things out. So what I like to do is I like to make the ripples furthest out more blurred than the ones which are closer together. So like so. And now we have this shape here. So what I've learned is, like, ripples propagate outwards from the object, but it's also kinda the shape of the object. So if this would bump up and down, it would almost be the same shape outwards, but it would be more smoothed out. So I'm just gonna make a new layer, and you could do this pretty much a lot more accurate if you want to, but I'm just gonna, as I said before, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna make it quite easy so you can follow here. And also the best way is just, you know, to have a reference of something you want to do, like, does it really look like this or not? I'm not even sure now when I see it if it's this shape or not, but whatever. I'm not here to teach you physics, so and again, I'm just gonna copy it and make it like bigger like this. It's probably gonna look really weird. Probably totally wrong about this shape. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. So yeah, that's enough. And also again rasterize layer and merge them together. And for this, I'm just going to use a radial. You know, you could also use the gradient for more accuracy, but yeah. You could also just try to adjust this to better fit it if you want to. I don't know, something like that maybe. And again, I'm gonna use my blur tool on this layer. Just gonna blur them out a bit, like so. These are probably too close together, but yeah, I don't mind. And let's see here. I'm just gonna use the same shape. And when you do this kind of things, you really want to have it more accurate than I do now, because you want it to seem like it's actually the real thing, and the eye often notice, even though it's just like a little thing or just a detail, might be good to just to make it accurate. And I see that they're further apart than these, and these are more close together, and it's like could be a lot better, but you will understand the whole thing later on. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna put a layer below. I'm gonna make it black. So now here's our bump map for now. So just to recap, I made the size of this like as the size of our plane. I see here that I missed like tiny bit. Okay, like that, and then just put a black below. I'm gonna save this as bump map. Okay, I'm gonna go back into Max, and I'm gonna choose my plane, and I'm gonna put a UV map on it, so it's like perfectly aligned to the plane. And here's my plane material. Go inside, and if I scroll down, I have a maps bump. I'm gonna put a bitmap, and let's see, bump map, yeah, open. And now if I just turn on the preview, I can see that, yep, they're there. So it looks good. And I'm just gonna put my camera on and unhide all. I'm gonna make a render. And as we can see now, we have these lines here. And if I put like some lights behind, it would be more clear to you what's happening. Just gonna put one here, turn it down. Now we can see here that the lines, the waves are there. Also, if I want to increase this value, I just go inside, and here on the bump map I have this parameter here. It's just an it's like an amplitude of how high you want it to be. Like white, pure white in the map will be 30 units. So if I put this to like 100, it would be a lot more noticeable, as you can see here. Yeah, I'm not sure about the shape of this, but whatever. You get the idea. And as I said before, if you would go like really close and just beneath the just before the surface, actually I can make it with the camera so you can see better. You won't be able to see the ripples because it's not actually pushing the surface up. It just tells Max to interpret this texture as something that has some sort of displacement. So yeah, that's it. There we go. You got the bump maps. Thank you for watching.